So in this video, I just want to show you guys what each of these panels do. I'm not going to go over every single panel, but I will go over the most important panels here. So first, let's talk about the project panel. So right here, guys, on the bottom left, this is the project panel. And notice how it does say add your media, drag media here, or import media to begin. So this is where we're going to drag and drop our files to start making our slideshow. This is where you're going to drag your stills, your audio, your footage, all of your assets. Everything's going to go in here, and you can even create bins in here. You can create bins to keep everything organized. So let's just talk real quick about a bin. What is a bin? A bin, it's just like a folder here, and I'll show you guys right now. So I'm going to call this stills. Okay. So I'm going to make a new bin, and I'm going to call this stills. And how did I make this bin? I clicked on the new bin icon right here. So if you click on this one time, this will come up, and then you can kind of rename it. I called it stills. So this is a bin, right? And you can change the look of your bins here. So you can zoom this in right here. I can make this a little bit bigger. I can click on this icon here and notice how that changes. I can even click on this and I get this different look. I like the list view better. I like this a little bit better, but so this would be a bin, and a folder would be on the desktop. So if you look right over here to the right, this is a folder, right? So I can go to my folder here. Here's my projects folder. Here's my project 1 San Francisco slideshow folder. And then I have stills right here. So I have files inside of my folder, right? So this is a stills folder, and this right here is a stills bin. So it's really important that you understand the difference. When I talk about bins, I'm talking about creating basically folders inside of Adobe Premiere. And when we talk about creating folders, we're talking about creating folders on your PC, on your computer. And so because this is your project window, and this is where we save our assets, we already created a stills bin here, right? So you can double click it, and let's go ahead and drag your stills, all of your pictures, which are your stills. Let's go ahead and double click your stills and select all of those here. And let's drag and drop them into your bins folder, which is right here. I can go back one by clicking on this bin icon right here. And I can collapse this. So if I open this up, I have all of my stills in here. Okay, so those are my stills. And let's go ahead and drag our audio and our titles into our project window. We're going to do this a little bit different though. We're going to drag the audio folder. You're going to drag and drop the entire folder, drag it right here. And now you have your audio bin saved in here. And last, let's grab our titles. We're going to drag and drop them into our project window, just like this. So now you have an audio bin, you have a stills bin, and you have a titles bin. And if you expand each bin, you'll see that the assets are in there. So this is what the project window does. It allows us to import our files. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and collapse all this. Okay, so that's the project window. The timeline window, when we start building our sequence, our video, when we start editing our video, and when we start adding multiple stills, this is the window that we're going to use to edit our sequence. So that's going to happen in our timeline window. And then on the top left, you have our source. So when you want to edit footage, like when you want to pick the start and the end clip, this is where you're going to do it right over here. And then your program window, this is where you're going to preview all the changes, all your edits, everything you're doing in your sequence. You get to play it and you get to watch it right in the program window. So you do use the source to edit individual clips, and you use the program window to watch your final edits that you're making to your complete sequence. And then right over here, you do have all the different tools that we're going to be using. And throughout the year, we're going to be learning about the different tools here. So in a nutshell, those are the different panels. You do have the project panel, you got the timeline panel, you got your source panel, and you have your program panel. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to create a brand new bin, and we're going to call it sequence. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go down to the new bin icon, click on that, and let's call that sequence, just like that. Okay. So the sequence, this is what we're going to use to make our Adobe Premiere file. So after you make the sequence bin, go ahead and double click it. And right here on the bottom right, we're going to click on new item, which is right here. Click on new item, and we're going to add sequence. Okay. And we are going to select HD 1080p, and make sure that you do select HD 1080p 23.976 FPS, which means frames per second. So we're going to be shooting at 24 frames per second. That's basically what 23.976 is. Right down here at the bottom where it says sequence name. Again, we're going to put today's date, the day that you're starting your project. For me, it just happens to be July, so 07/12/24 _ last name, first name _ project number 1. And if you saved your Adobe Premiere file correctly, which is right up here, notice how it's the same exact name. So all you got to do is look up here to get the name, then press OK. We created an audio bin, we created a sequence bin, we created a stills bin, and we have a titles bin.